All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to add a second floor to a home and also add stairs to get access to that second floor. And we'll take a look at some section views and some other features of Revit to make our life a little bit easier while we're doing this. So to do this, to get started, I'm going to go and start a new model by clicking on New. And then I'm going to use my residential template. And fair warning, I do not have a floor plan in mind. So I'm just going to kind of wing it with regards to throwing in some walls and windows just to get something on the drawing here. Okay, so I have my Revit screen ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and select on wall. And I am going to use exterior siding on wood stud. And remember, before you start drawing, you want to specify your base constraints and your top constraints. Right? Otherwise, it's going to be unconnected and your first floor wall is going to be 20 feet tall. We definitely don't want that. So there's two places that we can do that. We could change our top constraint in the properties, our wall properties, or we can come on up here to this drop-down menu and go to second floor. All right, so I'm going to go in a clockwise direction. Just going to make this 52 by 31 by 52. Again, no real rhyme or reason of where I'm putting my walls at the moment. And let's go ahead and put some interior walls in just to say that we did. So I'm again, click on walls, and I'm going to go with a 4.5-inch interior partition wall. And let's just draw a couple in here. So we'll draw one here. Let's go here. Again, no rhyme or reason to where these are going. Just kind of getting something in there. All right, and let's just to say we did. Let's pop in some doors. Not being too fussy here. Pop a door there, and we'll drop in some windows just to make it look like something. And I'll drop another one there. Okay, so we have our first floor, and of course, as you go through and you put your rooms in all of your spaces, you put your floors in and get your first floor all set, you'll be good to go. Okay, so let's talk about adding a second floor. All right, now if I go to my elevations, let's go to my east elevation. Of course, we have our first floor, second floor, and our roof. One thing you notice is that our windows are a little tall here. So one thing to keep in mind is you can modify elements anywhere within the model. So for example, if I want to select these two windows, I'm just going to select them and press Control. I can press the down arrow and move them down. Okay, another way to do that is if I was in my 3D view, let me go to my 3D view, you'll see that I can now select more of them and kind of see what I'm doing. And with the arrow key, I can drop them down even more. Okay, so if things aren't looking right in one view or another, you can modify them in any view that you would like. And we'll talk about precision, about moving these things a little later. All right, but for right now, let's worry about adding a second floor. All right, so I know that I'm all set with my elevations because I know I have a second floor sitting here ready to go, and I have a roof level ready to go. Okay, so I don't need to add any elevation markers. I can go ahead and start adding a second floor. All right, so to do that, I'm going to scroll up in my project browser, and under floor plans, I'm going to find second floor. Again, this came over in our nice residential template. Double click on that. And now you'll notice that I still have the walls of my first floor. But if I try clicking on anything here, I can't select anything. That's because I'm in the second floor view, and this is called an underlay. All right, it's just kind of like a transparency of what's below, so I know what's below me. Okay, this is Revit's way of giving us a hand of knowing where we are in space in relation to other elements within our model. All right, but even though I can't select anything on here because it's just an underlay, I can still use this as a frame of reference to help me draw a second floor. All right, now to do that, I'm just going to go back up to my wall command. I am going to go back to my wood siding on wood stud, and I'm going to check my constraints. So my base constraint is the second floor because that's where I'm starting. And my top constraint is up 2 level, and that's going to be the roof, which is the next level up. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll in, and I get these great inferencing lines, and I'm just going to follow along in a clockwise direction. So this way, my second floor walls are lined up smack dab on top of my first floor walls. And there are different ways to do this, but this is just one of the ways I want to show you today. All right, so now these walls that I just drew respond the same way that we're used to, right? We can activate them, we can do different things with them. And just for a sanity check, I'm going to go to the 3D view, and I'll see that we now have our second floor. Well, our second floor walls anyway, because we don't actually have a floor. So let's add the floor to our second floor, and we do that the same way that we do any other floor. Okay, so I'm going to go second floor. I'm going to click on floors under architecture, and I'm going to create a boundary, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle right around on the inside of my walls here. Hit the green check mark to OK everything. And I do not want to attach. All right, so now if I go back to my 3D view, all right, great. Now I have a floor and my walls. Okay, so now we're good to go, except for I can't get to the second floor. I don't have a set of stairs. So let's go over entering in a set of stairs. So I'm going to go back to my second floor. And again, this is where having that underlay comes in handy. Now, normally, with other drafting programs, you'd have to figure out, your rise and your run and all of your tread depths and whatnot of your stairs. Luckily for us, Revit does all of that for us. Okay, so to enter stairs or put stairs in, again, I'm under the architecture tab. And if we go to the circulation palette, we have a stairs feature. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on stairs. And just to cover this real quick again, anytime something pulls up in this bluish green color, it means that we're in a specific command, and anything we do, we always have to make sure we check off once we're done. Okay, but just a couple things while we're in here. First of all, we're just going to do a straight run stair. Okay, it's just a nice straight stair, nothing too crazy. But we could also do a spiral staircase. We can do an end spiral. We can do L winder stairs, U-shaped stairs. There's a lot of things in here. We could even just do it by a sketch. We can create a sketch and make any geometry you want into stairs. And we'll cover that a little later when we start doing some commercial buildings and some larger residential buildings. But for right now, I just want a straight run stair going from the first floor right up to the second floor. All right, so I'm in run. I'm in my straight stair. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to left click right here, and I'm going to start pulling my stairs down. All right, now as I do this, if you'll notice towards the bottom silhouette of my stairs, right there it says 15 rises or 15 risers. It says, and as I go down, that number goes down and it goes up. That tells me how many risers I need for my stairs in order to get from my first level to my second level, right? Because not all houses have the same ceiling heights, and therefore the different stairs and tread risers are going to be different for each. So this is nice to know, especially if you're putting in a landing or something like that. But if you're doing a straight run stair, it really doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to come up and I'm just going to do a straight run stair until I run out of risers, and I'm going to left click, and I have stairs. Just that simple, right? Now let's go to my 3D view. Well, before I do that, gotta hit the check mark. All right, let me hit the green check mark to confirm my stairs. So I have my stairs going up. Now let me see what's going on here. Let's go to our 3D view. And oh man, look what's happening here. I'm actually going from the second floor up to the roof. That's not what I want to do, right? We kind of goofed that up. We want to go from the first floor up to the second floor. So let's go back to our second floor. We could change that, not a problem. We're going to select on our stairs. And just like we could change the walls, base levels and top levels, we could do the same thing with our stairs. So our base level, what I should have done is taken this from the first floor and put it to the top level of second floor. And hit apply. Let's see what that does. Hopefully it shifted everything down, which it did. All right, but now we have a problem. All right, we just have the top of our railing sticking out. I know there's a set of stairs there because I know I've seen it in my floor plan view, and I can see it right here. But I want to be able to actually see it, right? So let me show you a couple different ways where we can look at sections of our model, okay? Now, since I'm in the 3D view, I'm going to show you a tool that's specific just to the 3D view. And if I go over into my properties with just hit escape a couple times, just get in the general properties, and I scroll down, you're going to see that there's an option for a section box. Okay, I'm going to click on the check marks for that and hit apply. And when I did that, this wireframe box appeared in my 3D view. Now, if I click on that wireframe box, you'll see that these little arrows pop up. Okay. Now, the downside of these arrows is no matter how much you zoom in, they don't get any larger, unfortunately. So just be very careful when you're grabbing onto these, especially when your models get a little more busy. But if I grab onto one of these grips, I'm just going to grab onto this one right here, and I take it and I scooch it back. I can then cut into my building to see what's going on. I'm going to change my visual style to consistent colors just to make it a little more appealing here. And I'm going to keep on pulling my box back until I can see my stairs. This is kind of cumbersome because I'm going to run right into the wall. All right, so this is kind of a junky view. I'm going to pull this back. Let's go from the other side. So let me rotate around. I'm going to grab my other grip and I'm going to pull that back. There's my stairs. That's a little better view. Okay, so now we can see that we have the stairs going from the first floor up to the second floor, and quite honestly, I don't like the way these stairs are. They're right up against the wall. And what I just did there is up here, I just clicked on the left on my cube just to get me squared away. So now here, I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to hit my right arrow key, so I get a little bit of a fighting chance of actually getting into those stairs. All right, but now I need to cut a hole into my floor, right? Or else the stairs are useless. So to do that, I need to edit the boundary of my second floor. Okay, now to do that, I like doing it right here. So as I'm in my section viewer, in my section box here, I'll click on the floor, and then when that happens, it turns my my ribbon up here green, and I can go to edit boundary. All right, so I'm going to click on edit boundary, and now I'm going to go back to my second floor view here just to make things easier. Notice I could switch between views, and we still have this greenish blue here. I am still in my modify floor option, so to speak, right? So until I hit this green check mark, I will always stay in this command, which is kind of nice because you can skip back through. But right now, my boundary is set to the interior of my exterior walls, all right? I want to cut out where these stairs are. So to do that, all I'm going to do while I'm still in edit boundary is I'm going to take my rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a box right around my stairs. I'll get as close as I can here, like that. Now I'm going to hit my green check mark. I do not want to attach. And now if I did this right, there should be a nice hole in my floor. So let's go back to our 3D view, and there we go. We do have a hole in the floor, all right? But I want to check something, right? As y'all, people who know me, I'm a tall guy. I'm afraid of head knockers, right? So I'm just kind of curious of if I'm standing on this stair, if I could pull this boundary back, I wonder how high I could get, right? So let's just do this. Let's edit our boundary. Let's pull this opening back a little bit. So again, I clicked on it, edit boundary, second floor, and I'm just going to take this boundary, I'm going to scooch it back, and I'm curious if I can get away with having a half open floor. Let's see. And do not attach. Now, instead of going to my 3D view and kind of maneuvering that way, I want to add a very quick section view. Okay, now to do that, if I go up into my toolbar here, I can click on the section button. And then if I left click, let go, and come down, left click again and let go, you'll see that I have a section view. All right, and I'm looking from left to right because that's the way my arrowhead is going. And this box right here, this is the range that my section view is going to go. I'm going to pull it back because I don't care to see anything beyond this wall. I just want to see my stairs. Now, there's a couple different ways that I can get to my section view. The easiest way is to double click on the arrowhead. All right, that's going to bring me right to my section view. Another way to do it is in my project browser. If I go down, you'll see that there's a whole nother tree that just got created called sections. And I can go into that section as well. All right, so for right now, I'm just going to double click on my arrowhead here. Typically, that's just the fastest way. And now we are in our section view. Now, if this was a view that I would use more often, say I wanted to put it on a sheet, I would actually rename this view by going to my project browser and renaming. Maybe I'll call it stairs. That's a suiting name. And everything gets named accordingly. All right. But let's say that now I want to see the where my risers are here. I want to see how far it is from my risers to the top of my stairs. So let me do this. Let me try going to hidden. No, we'll stay with consistent color. Hidden line. And I think I'm going to pull that section view back a little more so I can actually see my stairs. Let's do that. So I'm going to go to second floor. I'm going to take my section view. I'm just going to drag it over so it's halfway actually cutting through my stairs. That way I can actually see my treads. Go back to my stair. There we go. Now I can see my treads. Okay. So my critical measurement is when I'm standing on this stair right here. I want to know the distance from the top of this tread to the top of the ceiling here. So I'm just going to hit DI for dimension, and I'm going to go from the top of this tread to here. And 4'7". That is way too short. We want at least 6, 8, or 7 feet. So let's just try this riser here. And I have a feeling we have to stick. Oh, that'll do. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have pretty much a wide open riser in here. But this is just a quick, easy way to, as you're drawing and kind of letting your ideas fly, you can do quick, easy measurements just by using section views. All right. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to edit my boundary again to make this larger. Now I don't need this section view anymore, so I'm just going to click on it and delete it. I'm just going to make sure I want to delete it. It deletes it out of there, and it also takes it out of my project browser. Okay, so again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to select my floor, go to Edit Boundary, back to my second floor layout, and I'm going to take my boundary and I'm going to scooch it back. Hit the green check mark, do not attach, and check my 3D view. All right, so there we are. All right, and again, if I want to see more of my view, I'm just going to click on my box here and drag it out. And away we go.